So let's talk about the episodes. We've already had 5, and I'm just going to give you a briefing of each episode. The first episode, I think, is about courtship. It starts with Rayanne's dreams, and she dreams of running in this beautiful flowing dress. She dreams about falling off her horse. She dreams of seeing a beautiful red dress that young brides in Turkey wear on their henna night, and she hears this voice that says, "Don't go for the red." It's a beautiful red dress with red necklace. She dreams of falling to the ground and helped and picked up from the ground by this hand, this guy lending her his hand, who specifically is wearing a suit with cufflinks on his shirt. She dreams of falling off her horse. She dreams of running to her favorite place in Midyat, where there is a swing which is almost in the sky, so it's a swing in heaven. And she dreams of hearing someone calling her name, Rayanne, Rayanne. And then suddenly she wakes up in a nightmare, in a panic, in a cold sweat. This is how the opening scene starts for Hercai. So scene 1 of the very first episode. She wakes up, it's dawn, it's before sunrise, and she eagerly goes and wakes up her horse Mavi and rides her all the way into the desert. This is when we realize that she's a fantastic horse rider. She's absolutely amazing. She's free-spirited, and she's talking to us, the audience, about her dreams. She says that she lives in a 14-bedroom mansion, but it's to her more like a prison. That she's been imprisoned there for the last 19 years, that her grandfather doesn't love her. And so she is telling us about her dream of meeting her prince, who will take her away, and thus she will find her freedom. So she's saying that she believes in fairy tales and that happy ever after. She knows he's out there. She's going to be his miracle, and he's going to be hers. So this is how we are warmed into this beautiful character, the gorgeous Rayanne. Now, as she's riding her horse, there is this other young man who's driving, and that's where we meet Miran, this very handsomely turned out young man driving his car, and going through his mind, he's remembering the words of his grandmother, who has been spelling the awful story in his ear of how his parents were killed 27 years ago by the hand of a blue-eyed guy called Hazar Shadoglu. And she has helped him, groomed him up over the last 27 years with the sole purpose of taking revenge on the Shadoglus, not through killing, but through bringing them shame, so that for the rest of their lives every day will be like death for them. As he's driving and he's trying to change the radio station, Rayanne on her horse jumps in front of the car, and she falls to the ground, and she's unconscious. He can't wake her up, but as he sees her, turns her to her back, he recognizes who she is, and he actually knows who she is. She's Rayanne Shadoglu. He picks her up, takes her to the car, takes her to the mansion, and proposes to marry her. Everyone is in a state of shock, and he leaves. They think that, okay, here is this guy, they've known him for 2 years, he's a fantastic, eligible groom, well deserving of their granddaughters. But it's decided that it's Yaren who will marry him. As I've said before, Yaren being the blood granddaughter. And this is a secret that only Hazar and Nasu know about. They send word to him that yes, that's fine, but you can marry Yaren, and they come with supposedly his mum and sister to ask for the hand. At the meeting, it's announced that they've come for Rayan's hand. Everyone's shocked, and he insists that it is Rayan that he wants to marry. Azat, who's her cousin, doesn't take to this very well. Apparently he's been in love with Rayan all of his life. He just has never had the courage to say anything or to do anything about it. Bearing in mind that in this region it's not uncommon for cousins to get married, so it's nothing illegal. But Rayan sees this opportunity, I think, as an opportunity to leave this prison that she's living in, to leave this miserable life and to find her freedom. And so, however, she's just drawn into being married. Her father can't say no, neither can her mum. And before you know it, the rings are exchanged and they are fully engaged. The next few days, you have more courtship happening. You have Sultan and Gonul, who are supposed to be Miran's mother and sister, come for visits, bringing gifts, and taking Rayan and her mum out shopping. This time they go shopping for jewellery. He buys her an ankle bracelet because he's so smitten by her. This was probably unnecessarily and not part of the wedding list, but he does it, and there's a beautiful scene of him trying to put this anklet on her, and Azat walks in and they have a fight. She worries that he will change his mind, but no, the henna night goes ahead, and that's when we have a cliffhanger ending of episode 1, because he had gone to see her. Secretly she comes out, and he's absolutely fallen for her all over again, just seeing her in her henna dress. She goes back inside, and then Gonul arrives saying that you can't do this, you can't go ahead. Whatever happens, remember, I'm your wife. And Rayan comes out of the house and hears this. So we think. And that's where the episode ends.